Hello, I'm Eric Kea. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet and to the point and neat, right? So one of the questions from the assignment, so there's going to be 3 of them, right? So the first one states, what is the teacher's role in supporting learning, improving planning and practice, upholding professional expectations, and collaboratively advancing the profession? Okay, so what role do you play as an instructor and all of those things? It's crucial. You play every role, right? When you walk in, you are a professional. You know, on your first day, you're a professional in and outside of school, right? You have to be a role model for these kids. You have to set the bar. You have to set the expectations. You have to let them know, this is what I'm looking for out of you guys, and this is what I expect for you guys to do inside the classroom, right? Make sure you're setting expectations, right? As far as improving your planning and practice, right? Well, as a teacher, you're always continually learning from your environment. You're learning from the kids. You're learning from your employees. You're learning from your employers, right? You're learning from, well, right now I'm learning through taking my master's, right? You're always finding different things to learn, right? I mean, it's important because, well, education's always changing. You got to make sure you're changing with the times. So you always have to make sure you're influencing your kids, right? And you know, and you just have to make sure that you're continually learning in order to make sure that you're staying on top of your profession, getting better, all right? But like I said, your role in all that is crucial. You're the role model. You are, you know, some of these kids' father, mother, you know, friend, you know, all of those things, you know, come in when you're a teacher. You're not only teaching them subject matter, you're teaching them different aspects of life and how to perform and how to, you know, in order to, how do you motivate kids to do better for themselves? You know, I mean, you're all those things, right? So you got to make sure that you're, you know, as a teacher, your role in the classroom is you want to make sure you're setting the bar high. You want to make sure you're setting expectations, and you want to make sure that you're being a good role model in and outside of school, and that will, you know, help better you as you move along. What dispositions do you currently possess that will make you a successful teacher? Okay, so I think some of the dispositions that I read that I feel closely relate to me would be fairness, right? I feel like I'm always trying to make sure I'm consistent, you know, how I grade here or how I handle things here. I want to make sure I'm fair across the board, right? I don't want to, you know, set myself up where, you know, I'm doing something different in one class and another, and you know what I mean? You want to make sure that you're doing what you do for one student, you have to do for the other, right? Respect for others' diversity. When I worked in Virginia, you know, it was a largely, you know, black community school. And so I had to learn, you know, I mean, being that I'm from a generally white, you know, highly dense white populated area, that was a big difference for me. I got to, you know, experience different aspects of you know, just different cultures and different ways of thinking. And you know, I was working with kids that were from inner city, where I'm from a rural area. So it really broadened my spectrum of what it means to work in such a diverse community. And so it's important that you have that and you're able to sort of reflect on those things as a teacher. And also professional conduct. You want to make sure that you're, like I said, a role model in and outside of school. Some things I can work on is I need to start setting my expectations a little higher. I think being through the pandemic, I kind of took it a little easier on the kids in the sense that, you know, it was kind of a strange year. So I think next year I want to make sure I set my expectations a little higher. Now that I'm going to be on my 3rd year in, I'll have more time to reflect on lessons and which ones were successful, which ones weren't. And I also got to make sure I'm staying curious and sort of building my repertoire as what do I need to be as a teacher, what do I need to do, what sort of technology can I, you know, involve in the classroom, so on and so forth. What effect could personal bias have on your teaching and learning? Okay, again, depending on your community, you know, you want to make sure that you're fair to everybody, right? You know, when I was working in Virginia, like I said, we had I mean, I think our student body was, you know, 50 or 60% black. So it was a mind opener in the sense that, you know, we don't have that type of community around here. And so being biased down there would have really affected my teaching. So I think teaching down there and then coming back here not only builds an appreciation for working in those communities, but then it's also a way to relate those sort of lessons to students I have in the classroom here. Okay? And so anyway, that's my speech, and have a good day.